So I'm going to tell you why the sanctions against Tornado Cash are unlawful. And what does it mean? And what is Tornado Cash and why you should care? Well, remember, Tornado Cash is a decentralized protocol that allow you to remix your Ethereum. And what happened in 2022 was using the presidential power said, okay, Tornado Cash as an open source protocol should be sanctioned by the Department of Treasury. Imagine that. So that means that a smart contract should be sanctioned. And therefore, that's the reason one of the developers of the Tornado Cash had a lot of problems. And people that were involved with Tornado Cash had a lot of issues. But now, the United States Court of Appeals of the Fifth Circuit has said that the process done by the US government was not right. And I'm gonna go through the case and what happened, what is the history, and what is the key element of what is happening here. But just check this. We reverse and remand to the district court with instructions to grant Van Loon's motion for partial summary judgment. What does it mean? Well, I'm going to explain that. But this is very important for privacy, for blockchain, and for the future of developing elements. So let's begin, and you can read this document. How does Tornado Cash works? So in principle, let's say you want to send 100 Ethereum or just one Ethereum, it doesn't matter. So what you do is like you send from your wallet 100 ETH to a pool of smart contract addresses. Okay. So you said, okay, sending my 100 ETH to the pool of smart contract addresses. Okay, that's normal. And then, because other people are doing the same, then you can withdraw the Ethereum from that pool of addresses. So remember, in blockchain, when you're sending cryptocurrency, you generate a hash, a transaction on the blockchain that verifies that I sent that information. So the cool thing about Tornado Cash pool smart contracts is that person A sends, but also person B sends, and person C sends, and then person A can withdraw. So in that way, it's called a remixer because I sent 100 ETH and is the transaction on the blockchain, but then I get another 100 ETH, but you don't know from which part of the pool because that's part of the smart contract. So imagine it's just like it's just remixing all the transactions. So when you're withdrawing, you don't know where was the original 100. That's how it works in principle. So in that way, that's how they started to develop. And let me show you this image, which I think is one of the most essential ones. So all the persons that are participated, they send to the pool, and then the person they receive from the pool. That's it. So imagine it's like you just take coins and then you put one coin of $1, and then 100 friends they put one coin of $1. Normally, because the good thing about blockchain, we can trace back who was the one that put that dollar. But now, because you put it in a pool, what it does is like it moves the pool and then it says, okay, you want to withdraw? This is your coin. This is your coin. This is your coin. So the same way Tornado Cash work. And then the Tornado Cash keep working. And then they decided to create a decentralized autonomous organization. And they started to develop a lot of tools. Something called the relayer. So they created their own token called the Torn token. And you have to hold 300 of these tokens to be part of what they call a relayers network. Relayers is like, imagine it's a group of people that believe in the project, but they can make money from the transactions, but not from putting the money itself there, correct? So what was the problem? Well, the problem is that North Korea and other actors like the Lazarus group, which was a hacker group that stole more than $1 billion, used Tornado Cash and other cryptocurrency remixers. Okay. And then that's how the US said, hey, 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 how do we block North Koreans? That was the question. So the OFAC, which is like an entity that handles all this operation using what they call the Presidential Order, the International Emergency Economic Power Act, which imagine is a tool from the President of the United States that gives the Treasury Department Office of Foreign Assets Control, OFAC, the instructions to block property from what they call designated agents. So normally they do that, here, specially designated national and block persons. So they put people in the list, they put companies in the list, and they put the properties that belong to those people and those properties. And you can see that, for example, when Russian billionaires, they get their bank accounts frozen, correct? Because the bank account is owned by a Russian billionaire. Okay. So the key element was that what the OFAC did, they sanctioned directly Tornado Cash. The problem here is that Tornado Cash, even though they created a decentralized autonomous organization, they decided one day to do something very smart, which is creating a new version of Tornado Cash where no one will have control. That means that 1,000 people participated, okay? And then they created immutable contracts. What does it mean, immutable contract? Immutable is that not even the software developers can change the smart contract. And by doing that, and that's what the all this document says, is like then the concept of property disappears because then no one could own the code from Tornado Cash, neither modify the basic elements of that code. You can add more elements, but therefore an immutable smart contract that is not owned by an entity or a person by themselves is not property. Okay? So therefore, by not being property, what happens? You cannot sanction it. You cannot say you're a bad actor. It's very bad. No, you cannot say that. That's what literally all this 34 pages document is saying. I recommend you to check it out. But the most important thing, it goes back to this principle, which is the principle that because it's open source technology that is allowing people to remix their crypto by itself, because the smart contract is an immutable smart contract and is not owned by anyone, is not property. And therefore, the US government cannot sanction. And that's the reason the district court, I think the Fifth District Court, Court of Appeals of the Fifth Circuit, has said, okay, gave Joseph Van Loon, one of the members of the Tornado Cash, the reason that he was right. So that was a very interesting thing that happened, because this gives precedent for the future for projects that really want to be decentralized, that want to go into the principles of why Satoshi Nakamoto thought about the future of crypto, that if you create an immutable smart contracts that cannot be modified even though by their creator, then it's not property. Very interesting stuff. And that's what I wanted to share with you tonight. And another interesting thing is that the price of the Tornado Cash token just raised like crazy. It was on 3.6, and then it raised up to $34. Now it's in $17. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you about Tornado Cash. Thank you very much, and follow and subscribe.